If Lucas Vazquez is so high, who is out on the right side marking Rafinha? Great question, and it's Tchouaméni. Okay, well that means that Rudiger's still covering the middle? No. Lewandowski checks into it. Rudiger follows him, and as that ball is played in behind, the entire Real Madrid defense has just been completely eviscerated. The first Clásico of 2025 ended with Barcelona absolutely thrashing Real Madrid, beating them 5-2, wiping the floor with them completely. This Barcelona versus this Real Madrid, especially one that is depleted with injuries at the moment, it's not good for Real. They are going to lose this game every time if they set up in this way and play in this manner. Welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. All right, let's take a look at what happened, and I've broken this into two parts. First, it's the total disorganization and lack of man marking by Real Madrid defensively, and Barcelona's movement just being too much for them to handle. The second part is Real Madrid's inability to keep the ball. They couldn't set a tempo. They had so many poor turnovers, and Barcelona did a fantastic job of capitalizing on that. All right, so looking at the tactical board, both teams were actually playing a 4-3-3. Balde and Koundé as the left and right backs, who were able to get really high a lot of the game, allowing Lamine Yamal and Rafinha to actually pinch in certain areas, help combine and create play in the middle of the field. And Lewandowski up front, when he was here, he was doing a great job of checking into spaces, forcing the back line of Rudiger and Tchouaméni to make a decision as to whether to follow him or not, and it just opened up space for the midfield of Casado, Gavi, and Pedri. Gavi would actually go and insert himself into the front line a lot, and he was behind Camavinga most of the game. Big mistakes by Camavinga, and they actually led to goals. As for Real Madrid, I mean, this front line of Vini Jr., Mbappe, and Rodrigo should yield you goals. There should be a lot more, and there just was not. Now, the two big issues for Real Madrid were in their midfield and on the right side of their back line. Lucas Vazquez is the right back, and Tchouaméni, who is a holding midfielder, was playing right center back. So the right side of their defense was really weak, and Rafinha took advantage all day. All right, so let's get into the clips and see what happened. We start with Real Madrid's man marking, their pressing, the way they defended versus Barcelona's movement. And as I said, Lewandowski did a very good job of checking in, and it caused all kinds of problems. So here you're going to see Rafinha is already starting to make a run through the defense, and Lewandowski checks back. Now, Gavi, you can see, is asking for the ball here from Casado, but Lewandowski is checked in. He can easily receive it. And Camavinga there, you can see, he just takes a look at Lewandowski. Now he's lost Gavi. And so as soon as Casado gets it, plays it into Gavi, and Gavi is able to play the ball out to Lamine Yamal and run forward. Once again, though, Camavinga, just follow Gavi here. He's slowed down a little bit, but just keep your arm on him. Just stay with him. That's what you have to do. Camavinga stares at the ball. Gavi makes the run, Camavinga reads it late, and now he's playing catch-up. So as Gavi gets his ball, he's going to go ahead and chip it in from the byline. But right here you can see Rafinha is already trying to make this run behind Vazquez. Vazquez is like, oh no, I can't let that happen, and he starts to scramble and he almost falls over. The other problem is Tchouaméni staring at the ball, facing his own goal. He has to start turning and realize where the danger is. And as this ball comes towards Rafinha, Lucas Vazquez is falling over, but watch as Rafinha heads this ball. Tchouaméni's just like staring at him like, geez, there's a guy 6 yards out from our goal with a clear header. Good thing for them, Courtois makes an amazing save. And actually, for Real Madrid, they would go and score from that corner kick on a counterattack through Kylian Mbappe. But it was only a matter of time before Lamine Yamal put his stamp on the game, and he did it by scoring a fantastic goal. But once again, the key here was Lewandowski checking in and Real Madrid not knowing what to do. You take a look at Real Madrid, they're matched up in the midfield. But as Koundé receives this ball, Tchouaméni and Rudiger do not decide what to do about Lewandowski. And as he checks to the ball and receives it, they're already in a mess. And this is a horrendous position from Ferland Mendy. He is on the outside of Lamine Yamal. So this flick from Lewandowski is the easiest thing in the world. And now they're all playing catch up. Now, it's not over yet. Tchouaméni is in a decent position right here. Just make Lamine Yamal keep going down the line. Put him on his right foot. But don't let him cut in. And when he lets him cut in and go behind him, Camavinga has no chance. And then the finish is exceptional. It's that change of pace from Lamine Yamal, that little hesitation, and he just slots it. I mean, it's a fantastic finish. It's right next to the post, and it's 1-1. The ease with which Barcelona were able to get out. As I said, the pressing from Real Madrid was terrible. Why is Jude Bellingham going and pressing Kubarsi, the center back? But because Bellingham went forward, Camavinga and Valverde both stepped up, leaving an enormous hole in the middle of the field. Obviously, all they have to do is bypass you when they're in. Kubarsi's ball is terrific, and look at this. Because no one marked Gavi, Lewandowski picks up the ball, and it's a 4-on-4. That is ridiculous. But also, Watch Koundé, and this is something that would happen multiple times. Koundé would make a run forward, and Vinny Jr. would stand completely still. Now let's focus on Camavinga a little bit, because he was constantly on the wrong side of Gavi. You tell players frequently, if you're going to mark up, you need to be goal side. You cannot just let people run off behind you while you're staring at the ball. Eduardo Camavinga, long way from the ball here, just staring at it, and Gavi is making a run so that Cubarsí can play him. Cubarsí tries to hit that ball. It's not very good, but again, this is a 4-on-3. But as this ball goes, everyone knows that Rudiger's going to win this ball, and he's most likely going to head it forward. So if you're Camavinga, you take a look and you see that there's a space here, that's probably where the header's going to go. You've got to get there to win it. Lewandowski is the one that reads that the header's not going to go very far, and Lewandowski brings it down. And from a poor ball out of the back, Barcelona now just have the ball in the final third, and they can go ahead and create something. All right, now you're going to see, once again, the way that Real Madrid's midfield three just would lose Barcelona's. Camavinga not paying attention to the ball, Gavi's off the back of him already, and Lewandowski walks behind him as well. As Koundé turns and plays it back to Casado, the pressure from Bellingham is just too slow. He doesn't get in his face at all, so the pass into Lamine Yamal to split. Now Camavinga has decided that he needs to be the one marking Lamine Yamal, who just sidesteps him easily. Valverde's come over to help as well, so he has lost Pedri, and Pedri gets the ball, and he now has some great choices. He can either go out to Balde on the left side, or because Vinny Jr., once again, not really paying attention to Koundé going forward, he can go out to the right. And this is the genesis of the penalty. As the ball goes out to Jules Koundé, take a look at Gavi, top of the box, and Camavinga is ball watching. Now he takes a look and he recognizes, oh, Gavi's right there. That's my mark. I need to get back. But he does it slowly. And as this ball ricochets off of Ferland Mendy and starts to bounce towards Gavi, it's pretty simple from Camavinga. Don't foul. Instead, he goes and basically karate kicks Gavi in the side. I know it's a bit soft, but it's a foul. It's a penalty. And now Lewandowski gets a chance to make it 2-1. Now, a lot of people want to take shots at Camavinga, but it wasn't only him. Valverde, he's a willing runner. Like, you gotta love his character, but he would get into situations where he was chasing the wrong things and leaving Pedri wide open, because that's who he was supposed to be marking. As his ball goes out to Balde, he takes a look up and he's looking for maybe a run from Rafinha in behind, but the good thing for Real Madrid is that Rodrigo is helping back. So as Rafinha starts to check in, it's very simple. Vasquez should follow him and everyone else should stay matched up. But watch what Valverde does. He sees the run of Rafinha and he decides to follow him. Now, in this specific incident, Rodrigo actually did a very good job to win the ball off of Balde. But take a look at the clock. It's 12:09. In just 40 seconds, the same exact thing would happen. Inigo Martinez steps forward. He's got Balde on the left. Once again, Rodrigo checking back. The midfields are kind of matched up. One problem, though, you can see Gavi, again, running off of Camavinga. Camavinga not goal side. Here, Bellingham close enough to Casado. So everyone's covered. Valverde, just stay with Pedri. Instead, he decides to go and help on Rafinha, and so Pedri's able to just get the ball and turn and penetrate. And once again, another example of all of them doing the same exact thing. Gavi off the back of Camavinga again. Bellingham can't really choose who to really cover, so he's in between. Inigo Martinez gets the ball. Valverde, you are so close to Pedri. Just stay with him. Oh no, instead he decides to run towards the ball. Pedri is now completely free. Rafinha is gonna check in. Pedri's gonna make the run off of him. Nice little flick from Rafinha to get Pedri in. Gavi with the ball. Plays it out to Lamine Yamal, makes the run. Camavinga can't even follow him. I mean, it's just such poor defending right there. But he stays with him, forces Gavi back, and take a look at Pedri. Take a look at Valverde. Now, Valverde's in a good spot in the sense that it's gonna be tough for Gavi to play this ball to Pedri, but don't get sucked in too far. And once again, he's going to get worried about Rafinha. Watch the steps that Valverde takes, and it opens up the ball into Pedri from Lamine Yamal. He sees him, takes a few steps over, that opens up the ball, the switch gets played, Balde's in, and take a look at the clock. I mean, we are in first half stoppage time. Now, Koundé had one hell of a day. He was absolutely terrific in defending Vinny Jr., but Koundé was getting open all the time. And one of the big reasons is he was very rarely being followed by Vinny Jr. Now, once again, we have this issue of the midfield. Casado, wide open because Bellingham is sort of jogging around. Camavinga has left Gavi off him once again. Pedri plays the ball out to Balde. He turns around, doesn't really have many options inside because Real Madrid have defended this okay. As Pedri gets the ball and drops it in, Valverde is now part of the back line watching Rafinha, so someone needs to take Pedri. And Bellingham just watched the ball. He's gonna watch Casado get it. He's gonna jog sort of close to him, but Pedri's wide open. No one marked him. And so he's just gonna pick it up and look up. And now, this is something that happened frequently. Jules Koundé Koundé starts making a run forward, and Vinny Jr. realizes a little bit late. Yeah, it's too late. Here, Bellingham's upset. When Bellingham's upset, he decides to chase the ball. It's frankly annoying. As Cubarsí gets his ball, he's got an easy ball into Casado. This is not a difficult pass at all. And Bellingham's just chasing him. Not once did Bellingham look behind him to make sure that he was coordinated with his teammates. He just ran, and watch his reaction here. He strops a little bit. He's yelling at everyone. He's saying, get forward. And once again, Vinny Jr. has lost Koundé. You cannot play against a team like Barcelona in this way. So you want to see another example of a poor press? This is what led to the 5th goal for Barcelona and Rafinha's hat trick. So this was a goal kick for Barcelona. Balde gets the ball, and the first problem is it should be Rodrigo going out to press Balde, and Lucas Vazquez should not be this high. The second issue is that Bellingham has lost Casado. He is behind him, and Casado can easily make that run forward. But it makes you wonder, if Lucas Vazquez is so high, who is out on the right side marking Rafinha? Great question, and it's Tchouaméni. Okay, well, that means that Rudiger's still covering the middle? No. Lewandowski checks into it. Rudiger follows him, and as that ball is played in behind, the entire Real Madrid defense has just been completely eviscerated. Rafinha, clinical, makes it 5-1, and that was it. Now, that was how bad Real Madrid were defensively. One of the big issues, though, is that they had no tempo setting in the midfield. They were just turning balls over from either the back or from their goalkeeper or from their front line. So let's take a look at some of their mistakes in possession and the way that Barcelona were able to capitalize. Yeah, basically, this is how you lose games, and we're going to see Rafinha be a total star here. This is his first goal and Barcelona's 3rd of the match. Now, Real Madrid had a goal kick. Ball got played to Tchouaméni. He plays it back to Courtois. There's a couple important things to look at here. So Lucas Vazquez, bottom of your picture down here, he's in the right place as the right back. That's where he should be, waiting for the ball to come out his way. But when it doesn't, when it's very clear that Courtois cannot go in this direction and he's going to play it long the other way, you have to get across. The other thing is that Vinny Jr. needs to make a much better attempt at this ball. Araujo just kind of bullies him and wins it without even needing to jump in the air. And now as Koundé gets it, he looks up and he sees a complete gift. As I said, Lucas Vazquez did not check in quick enough. It was so obvious as soon as this ball got won by Araujo that he needed to close his space. Rudiger's too far over. He's got to be closer to Lewandowski, which means that Tchouaméni is too far over, and obviously the gap between him and Vazquez is ridiculous. The ball from Koundé is fantastic. The leap and header from Rafinha, terrific, and the goal is absolutely exceptional. And one player who struggled on the ball was Fede Valverde. So here he is, opening moments of the match. He gets it from Bellingham, and the touch should have been out of his feet. Barcelona are so condensed onto one side. You've got Rodrigo running off the back of Balde. Just chip that into the corner, and you're in. Instead, no, he goes right back to where the ball came from, dribbles right into pressure, and loses it. Here's the next one that he did that was very perplexing. Cubarsí gets the ball, tries to play one in the midfield looking for Lewandowski, but it's a little bit weak, and Valverde reads it and gets there first. Now, Valverde, take a touch forward. And there's a really good counterattacking opportunity here. But he does that. He plays it back to Lamine Yamal for some reason. And then there was the problem of very bad long balls. This is where you miss Toni Kroos, because he didn't do this kind of thing. First of all, you've got that Barcelona high line, and Real Madrid, as usual, not making very clever runs. Here, the guys were onside, but the ball is way too straight. So are the runs, and Szczesny can just back up and collect it. Vinny Jr. had a bad day and was guilty of some ridiculous giveaways. Here, just a few. First, he does actually really well here defending against Lamine Yamal. He just nicks the ball off him and starts running. But you've got a great opportunity, and here's what you do. You just toe poke the ball out of play. You just dribble it straight out of bounds. Here's another one. Ball out to him. I will say there is a gap between Jules Koundé and Araujo, and the run by Rodrigo is good. He's onside. So you have to execute this much better than that. There were a few others for Vinny Jr., but we also have to highlight Courtois because he did this quite a few times. Here, if you're going to play a long ball, you got to play a longer ball. You got to get up to your front line. But this decision to just chip the ball out to your left back, who's going to do what with it? I mean, all Ferland Mendy can do is just kind of head it forward. Well, Vinny Jr. clearly read the situation after Koundé, and Koundé steals it. Here's another one. Thibaut Courtois with the ball, sees a giant hole in the midfield to try and find Bellingham, and he does. So the ball from Courtois is not terrible, but it's also not ideal. In the end, it's also Bellingham who makes a mess of this. Look at this. He hits it with his knee. What technically is that? And of course, Joni Rudiger. Now, he has very good long balls sometimes, but in this match, they were terrible. Here's one big long ball straight forward again. Szczesny comes out of his box to collect it and clear. And another one, and you can see Barcelona playing that insanely high line, but Real Madrid have 4 players on it. Bellingham's doing everything he can to slow his run. Rodrigo's trying to cover his, but guess what? Mbappe, offside. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But again, it's a straight ball and it's straight runs, and so it's straight to the other team. And for sure, the most criminal example is the goal right before halftime that Balde scores. A corner kick for Real Madrid. Like, this is the end of the first half. You've got Toni Rüdiger in the box. You've also got Tchouaméni, who has won a header from a corner and forced Szczesny into a save. He also had an overhead kick on the subsequent corner from there. Put it in the box and see if Barcelona can defend it. Instead, you try and do a short one. So, okay, maybe you didn't serve it in there, you want to move the ball. But now, Rodrigo, you've got to put this in the penalty area. Except right when Rodrigo gets the ball, Lamine Yamal already recognizes. He knows that they're trying to find Valverde here. And Valverde is basically screened by the ref, which is hilarious. Lamine Yamal has already read it. He gets there first. So Lamine Yamal gets the ball into Rafinha, and he had Balde running. But Ferland Mendy is also helping. So this is not over yet. Yes, it's serious trouble for Real Madrid. And once Balde gets here, if you are Ferland Mendy here, you have to cut off some kind of option. The shot is to the far corner, and Ferland Mendy is still on his feet. He should have lunged or slid, done something to try and block that shot. So that was it. 4-1 at halftime. We all knew this game was over. Obviously, Barcelona would add a 5th early in the second half, which really put the game to bed. But the problem for Real Madrid is they never really look that well organized. I love Carlo Ancelotti, but I don't really know what he's doing. I was just shocked at how bad Real Madrid were with the ball, and it's a consistent thing. Off the ball, they don't really seem like they have that good of a game plan. Either way, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.